Hello everyone, my name is Stefan Munz, and in today's interview we would like to talk a little bit about the role of a student athlete and how important academics are in the 4 years while a student athlete attends college. To get a better understanding and insight of the topic, it is a pleasure to introduce you to Coach Schumann, a former Virginia Tech player. Coach Schumann played football at Virginia Tech, and he was a 3-year starter. He started at left guard position as a redshirt sophomore before being moved to center after the season. After receiving his undergrad degree in 2008, Schumann tried to enter the NFL draft, and due to a knee injury, he could not pursue his professional career. After his attempt of playing professional football, Schumann served as a graduate assistant in the strength and conditioning program while working on his master's degree. He graduated with his master's degree in curriculum instruction in 2012 and is now a full-time member of the strength and conditioning staff. Coach Schumann, like I said, it's a pleasure that you can be here today. My first question would be, when you first came to Virginia Tech, how did you define your role as a student athlete? Did you define yourself more as an athlete or more as a student, or did you already think you could go pro when you entered college?
Well, that's a great question. When I first came here to Virginia Tech, I had aspirations to play in the NFL. That was my ultimate goal. I wasn't mature enough as a person to take the academic side very seriously, and didn't do that. First couple years, kind of coasted through. I didn't really make the most of my opportunities, and really focused on the football side of things.
Right. So while in school, you said your main focus was always on the sports sides, and you could have put more focus on the academics. So while you were in school, when did you start thinking about your future career? What kind of options did you have, and what kind of decisions did you make there?
Well, right around the third year, I was playing here, and I was off to a good start, and then I had a setback, had an injury, one of many, and I was very fragile as a player. And then when I started to realize, and then I started to mature as a person, obviously started becoming a man a little bit and owning up to my responsibilities, and started taking the academic side a little bit more serious. Started hitting the books, put the hours in, putting the time over in our academic center, and started to progress as a person and a student.
And after college, what experiences did you make with professional sports? What kind of environment is that, and how did your life change after you realized, okay, I cannot go pro due to my injury? How did that change your lifestyle, your norms, as well?
So my experience, I would say the atmosphere of professional sports, I would say all professional sports is very competitive. You went in there, you tried your best, there was money on the line, so obviously you were putting your best foot forward. And then, hey, some things happened and it didn't work out, injury-wise and performance-wise. And so, hey, it didn't happen, it didn't work out, so I had to reassess what I wanted to do, my career path. Did I want to go back to school? Could I get back into school? A lot of things were up in the air. And then luckily enough, I was accepted back, and then pursued a master's degree in curriculum instruction. Really got that done, took care of that, and then things worked out. So it was positive, very positive.
During this experience, when you tried to go pro, what do you think, how likely is it for a student athlete, for a young football player to go professional? How high are the odds? What do you think?
Statistically, it's very low. A lot of young men come in here, not great environments growing up, and that's their way out of a negative environment, whatever that may be. So that is the ultimate goal when you're coming in, and I would say 99% of the time that's the goal. When you come in as a scholarship player, you want to play in the NFL, you have dreams, and the academic side of things can lack a little bit. You can slack off and not do as well as you're capable. I mean, that's definitely a fact. And the reality is, few players make it to that level. Few players make that type of money, and few players, if you're lucky enough to get there, few players play more than 3 years. So that's important to state too.
Yeah. So if you think back, do you regret something while you were in college? Would you say you would do things differently now compared to in the past?
Yeah, I would obviously. I wish that I was more mature of a person coming in. Really, if I would have took care of business early on, I would have been better off. I wouldn't have to fight and scratch at the end of my academic career here to get into a master's program to get my GPA to a level where it would be accepted. So, yeah, if I could go back, I would take those first 2 years a little bit more serious. It hurt me, it set me back. But yeah, at the same time, it was a life experience, it was a learning experience, and I'm proud of how I bounced back and answered that bell.
And do you think if you would have been a little bit more mature, if you would have reflected more, do you think that would have influenced your sports career in a positive way?
Of course. If I would have spent less time on my punishment runs for not going to class, of course, that's part of it. But at the same time, I was very, and similar to most kids, football got me here. Athletics got me here. And, at the high school level, you can coast through and everything is fine. At this level, you have to prepare for life. And that's what I would say. I say, hey, if you're going to prepare for life, you need to be good in all phases of your life. If it's off the field, if it's on the field, if it's in the classroom, you need to be sharp to be successful. Simple as that. You have to be man enough to own that. And, I was lucky enough to get a second chance and bounce back and lucky enough to work for the school that I've been here for a decade. So I've been very, very fortunate.
Coach Schumann, thank you so much for your insight. It was a pleasure having you with us today. Thank you very much for your time.
Hey, man, appreciate it.
Thank you.